Hello, Stefan,
Welcome.
and thank you very much for inviting me in this Mind the Gap English house. Why are we here?
Well, welcome and thank you for accepting our invitation. I would start by saying that we are here because of the 10th anniversary of Mind the Gap brand, Mind the Gap from Transylvania. Probably most of our public now knows about who we are and what we are doing. So we are celebrating the 10 years of our business with a beautiful new collection inspired by the Transylvanian origins and our heritage. And you are here because you've never been probably in a Mind the Gap showroom, and I think it's the best moment, and we are so proud to have you here.
I am very happy that I'm here, and I would like to talk a little bit for our viewers about how this Mind the Gap story began.
So this story began, like, I would say, as a dream, like 11 years ago, when me and my business partner, Victor, we had the daring to start our own brand after a couple of years of producing for other brands and serving both designs and interior products, at that time just wall art. And we thought that we have the power to create a brand that really can conquer the world, no matter it comes from a very unknown area for design in the world, because Romania unfortunately wasn't ever on the design map. But we had a strong feeling at that time that we can do something very special, very I would say
Unique.
quirky, unique, that can bring both the Transylvanian diversity and multicultural history into the world and show to the
On the international market.
to show to the international market level how beautiful our history and designs are.
What about the name? I don't know what's the story about the name. Why Mind the Gap?
Yeah, that's a quirky thing. I mean, it's an interesting question that I receive every time in interviews. It's Mind the Gap comes basically from a story behind the name of the company, because the company is called Global Art Production, and at that time everyone was calling us like Gap.
Okay.
And we know there is another very big American brand that holds this name. So that moment, I had the idea to call our brand Mind the Gap, even if it sounds very Londonese
Yeah, I
and
thought
very
that you were
British. Yeah,
that you were traveling with the subway.
yeah, everyone,
And it's like,
everyone.
no.
And now we are seeing like Mind the Gap of Transylvania, which is
Okay.
very interesting. But also, Mind the Gap has a different meaning, like be different, thinking outside the box, which I think it suits very well our brand and our business philosophy.
I'm wondering, when did you first realize that the Romanian heritage could inspire an international design language?
I must be honest and say it wasn't from the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
because at that time when we started with our first collection 10 years ago, we did something very, let's say, easy to go worldwide. We knew that we have to make a brand that will sell all over the world, not just in Romania, because of the consumption power and because of the cultural background. So we start with something completely different, like tropicals and architectural icons from all over the world, and like a table of elements from chemistry. That was the first collection, which was quite awkward.
What was
into
the
the
name?
market.
It was the name of this collection. Do you remember?
It was just like a wallpaper collection,
Oh,
the
okay.
designer wallpaper collection number one. Then we introduced the compendium collection, which was more, and the collectibles, which were other collections. Each year, basically, we were launching a collection of 113 designs, because 13 is my favorite number, my birthday. So it was like
13.
13. So
Oh,
I
so
said,
it's good.
yeah, I said not 100, 113. And then the first time when we've seen that it's a chance to do something inspired from Transylvania, and we felt like people would love it, because everyone was asking, where are you from? Transylvania. Oh, that's nice. We would love to see some designs. And this was 5 years ago when we did the first anniversary collection, Transylvanian Roots, which became actually the most important collection till now, with very strong presence in the United States and very well received all over the world.
The new collection is called Transylvania Rhapsody.
Yes.
And I will tell you what Transylvania means for me. It's about childhood and about all the holidays in the mountains in Făgăraș at my grandfather, which was born in a small village called Porumbacu de Sus.
Beautiful village. I've
A
been.
beautiful village, yes. And it's about tradition. It's about a place that we are owning in this moment over there that is called Oberwood, where we try to keep the tradition of the, you know, the wooden houses. And now we're trying to do a cultural hub to be to host a lot of Romanian artists with their whatever they do in art.
Crafts, yeah.
And I would like to know what Transylvania means for you.
Definitely my homeland, first of all, and a place that I'm very proud to belong, because I figured out later when I was like about 20, 25 years old, not when I was very young, I started to understand that I belong to a special place with my origins very mixed, because I'm a quarter German, a quarter Armenian, a quarter Hungarian, and another half from my father Romanian. So
Like
I
a
really-
lot of people from Transylvania.
Exactly. I really represent Transylvania, and I must say that most of our colleagues and employees are the same, because, you know, Târgu Mureș, the city where we come from, are a very mixed place, but the whole Transylvania. So first of all, it means a lot for me as a homeland, as a place that inspired me all the time. And then when I started to go into the design area, I started to understand and to see that we have such a multicultural diversity. We have such a very, I don't know how to say, very complex mix of patterns and designs that are coming from Eastern Europe, even from the Middle East, because of the, you know, the years of conquered, and then from Ottoman side, and then translating through Transylvania and going up to Hungary, Austria, where I discovered later that we share the same floral patterns or birds or other elements. So I would say that today for me, Transylvania means a vault, like a very, like a gold mine of inspiration, but also very nice place to live and to belong.
Are you also inspired by architecture and about nature, about, I don't know, flowers, forests? Because, you know, I'm thinking all the time when I'm talking about Transylvania, I'm thinking about an interview that I've done several years ago with King Charles. Then it was Prince Charles, and he was so fond of Romania, and he was talking with so much passion about you have to preserve the wild nature of Transylvania and the flowers and the forests. So I'm thinking if in your designs you're thinking about all this too.
Yeah, definitely. Our heritage does not mean just the culture or just the paintings in the old churches or the Gothic churches or the architecture, but it means a lot the nature that we have. And I must be honest again and tell you that probably 15 years ago, I wouldn't understand as much as I understand now how much we have and how important is our flora and fauna in Transylvania. And also the thing that it's still somehow free to walk in, to understand and to, you know, to take your kids and to have a walk around in every weekend in the forest or in the woods and everywhere.
And to understand the value of still having this.
Which unfortunately most of the Western European countries does not have anymore, because it gets more and more rigorous, more restricted. I also have a property on the countryside where we rebuild an old manor, and I'm driving every weekend since 1 year, every Saturday, to stay just a couple of hours there, because I feel something that probably...
An energy.
Yeah, I feel a different energy. I feel very connected to the countryside, even if I grew up in the city, because my parents had no relatives on the countryside. But I went back where I belong, probably on the countryside, where every one of us belongs. And yeah, I think this translates very well also in our collections and designs.
What about the music? Because you're such a musician. Could we see something from this part of you in the work that you're doing?
Yes, definitely. I would say that also this multiculturality, it translates in our music because in my jazz trio, in Mind the Gap trio, we try to bring with each album different songs from all over the world. And I will tell you in a premiere that we started to work on a fourth album, which will be called is going to be called Tales of Transylvania, and we'll have like 7, 8 songs, and each song will be inspired from a different culture in Transylvania, different ethnic. So it will be like folk music translated into jazz. Yes.
This is nice, you know. I will wait for you with this concert at in Porumbacu.
I'm happy. Yeah, we are working on
Because
this
I think it will be nice.
Yeah, we started to work on this album. Probably it's going to be live in the end of the year. I think I repeat. I believe that Transylvania still have a very interesting. It's like a melting pot of different cultures, and this mix. It's quite heavy to find it in other countries because, of course, even we are in England and we know that here lives so many people from all over the world. But I think because all these ethnics lived in Transylvania since 700 years, they melted and they created a different culture that are so special.
Tell me something about the creative process behind the collection, behind this collection.
Usually we try to find different stories, and while we are from Transylvania, I still believe we need to show to the world beautiful places or iconic cultures and music, inspired by music and architecture, and I don't know, any kind of culture, a movie from all over the world. So we try each year to bring something different. Like 2 years ago, we had Dolce Vita. Last year, we had Jazz Live, which was completely different than what you can see over here with very folkish bohemian style. The design process always starts and need to start for me with an idea, with a story, because if I'm not inspired by the story we have to create, I rather don't do it. So it needs to be connected in my mind with something from, as I told you, books, movies, or music, most of them. And then after I do the mood boards, we have a design team in Cluj. And together with the design team from
There are many people in the design.
There are 8 in the design team.
Okay.
And they are very talented
As
ladies.
we can see.
Yeah, they are very talented ladies that comes from the Cluj University of Art, most of them. And we start to create these new collections. Lately we work almost 1.5 year before a collection.
So from the idea, exactly, from the idea to the
I think it takes 1.5 year from the first idea. From when I'm coming, yeah, I have something new, we can start working. Now we started to work for the collection 2028. So to have enough time, because it takes the patterns to be drawn, then it takes the selection to be made by me, which is the most extreme for the design, for the designers. And then we have the process of sampling, because we have suppliers from all over the world. Then it takes the shooting, where I need to find a beautiful place like we did now with
you have wonderful
Zavala.
You have wonderful pictures with your works.
Yeah, we do it.
You have a very good team for this too.
Yes, I'm doing the styling, unfortunately, but we have a very
Why
creative,
unfortunately?
because I would love to work with someone else. Sometimes we work with stylists in England or in other countries when we do the shootings outside Romania, like we did with the Woodstock collection. But then most of the time we work in our studio in Târgu, where we have a photographic studio also. And when we have big collections like Transylvanian Rhapsody this year, we try to find very impressive places like we did now. We did the shooting in last October at Zabola Castle in Transylvania, which is an awesome place. Yeah.
Tell me, how do you translate the national signs motifs into contemporary design?
That's something more peculiar for each designer, how they understand to bring the national motifs or very popular motifs from Transylvania, especially till now. But actually, we had a collection that it's called the Wetlands, and it's inspired by Danube, so it's from the southern side of Romania. We do a research. We always start with a research, which is done through the internet and also through the museums, specific museums. And then the design team comes with all the patterns, and they try to come up with some iconic elements, like we have now in collection. We have the column of our most famous sculpture, yes. So, but also we go deeper into the folk patterns, and we try to show to the world and to bring for us too, because we need to be impressed by our designs, otherwise we don't go into the market. We come up with some patterns that are not so popular. So we go in churches. I remember when we did the Transylvanian roots, we went in churches in smaller villages like Almavi or Viskri, and I looked on the benches behind the churches where were very old paintings, and I took photos, and then we draw those back into the patterns, and this is the process that would go, yeah. But everything, I would mention that everything starts from actually
a story,
illustration,
an idea,
yes,
a
and
picture.
comes from designs, yeah, and comes from hand-drawn designs, and then they are translated into digital and then transposed into products.
What materials and techniques are at the heart of this collection?
I think all the possible techniques for the fabrics, especially. The wallpaper is a bit easier or simpler to explain because it's made digitally in our factory in Târgu Mureș. But then for the fabrics, we try to achieve almost all the techniques, like the block printed, like the printing fabrics, like the woven fabrics that are very special and very harder and harder to be made in Europe. We are producing them in Belgium and Italy. Then we have the large embroideries, which are made only in India. So it's possible only to be done in India these days. Nobody does in Europe. Then we have embroideries made in Romania, embroideries made in Turkey for the cushions and accessories. So we try to put mostly in the fabrics all the techniques that are possible and that enhance every product in the end.
Maybe that would be interesting also for the viewers. What kind of products are included in this collection? Are we talking about furniture, about wallpaper?
Yeah, so wallpaper is our main product because we started with the wallpaper and everyone knows MINDTHEGAP for wallpaper. But then the second most important, I would say, are the fabrics, which goes for the furniture, upholstery fabrics, and for cushions. Then we have also rugs, not yet shown in this collection, but it will come later in this year. Then we have the furniture, which is all of them for Europe, for the European market, are made in Romania in different factories, upon our request and with our fabrics. Then we have a very nice collection of lighting, with the lampshades also made in our factory in Romania, and the lighting designs coming from an important name, an important brand from UK. We work in collaboration. Then we have a very specific and very favorite of mine, a collection of kitchen table linens, which are inspired by Transylvanian, and we try to bring this accessories collection just when we have an important collection to be launched. So just to mark some of our historical moments, I would say, like the 10 years of anniversary.
I was ready to ask you what's your favorite piece, but now you just told me. That's your favorite piece from this collection?
Yes,
or do you have another one?
We have a couple of fabrics that are favorite and a couple of wallpapers, of course, each time. But I would say that for this collection, I love the kitchen linens, which are quite special. And I'm proud to have this because it's hard to see on the market this quality and with this design. So I'm a consumer of design, also at home. Our nanny knows that if she puts on the table something that I don't like, she destroys my dinner. So that's why I'm very picky with these accessories that still in Romania are not so easy to find.
She has to come to the workshops and everything.
Yeah, she should.
To be prepared.
Not enough time, but I will take her to the shootings so she can know how to make the place. Yeah.
If someone has never visited Transylvania, what would you like for them to understand through the work that you're doing?
That's a tough question. I think I think I would love people to discover and to understand for real what Transylvanian means in terms of the heritage and of the history we have there. But I also would love to see the hospitality we have, the beauty of the land we have, and the very deep cultural background and values that are still not promoted enough. I mean, we try, of course, through our collections to do this, but after all, we are a brand which needs to go onto the market, sometimes combining the artistry with the commercial. Yeah, I think the whole Transylvania is a special place that, for me, it's, and not just for me,
It deserves to be known.
it deserves to be known more and better, and in different terms, not just the woodlands or that you can do off-road, you know,
Yes.
or hunting, but just more on the cultural side and on the legacy we have there. Yeah.
You have your products, Mind the Gap, around the world. You're selling in UK and in the United States. And I would like to know, what's the reaction of your clients when they begin to know Romania through you?
Definitely, we are pioneers in this industry, and also for Romania, because we sell in 80 countries today from our small factory in Transylvania.
Which is great.
Yes, of course, the most important market are US and UK, and then Europe and Japan and the well-developed countries. But we are proud to say that we sell in 80 countries, and not, I mean, since 5 or 6 years. We are proud to bring Romania out, and people are still wondering how a brand like ours comes from Romania, because, as I told you in the beginning, we are not very known into the design industry.
So they don't expect.
No, and most of the people, also because of the name, but most of the people mostly because of the style of the brand. So the way we we are called as a maximalist brands because we have very big patterns, strong colors, which is not common even into the world. And they are like wondering how we come from Romania, but then we love to share this and to tell them the story that yes, we can do this, and we are very proud of belonging to Romania and to Transylvania.
So what does surprise them most when they see,
I think the
collection?
The unique style, because we managed from the beginning to create our own style, and we were brave enough, me and Victor, my business partner, and of course the whole team. We were very brave to get into the market with something different, because we knew that if we would start with something more common, like plain colors or some, I don't know, earth chromatic scheme, we wouldn't be so easy recognized and so quick recognized into the market. So this was at the beginning a challenge, but also it turned to be like a feature for Mind the Gap. So I think that today, if someone comes in and I'll take all the logos from here, you would see that they will say, I think this is Mind the Gap, because we managed to create our own style. And there is a specific word that I like to remember every time, how the Daily Telegraph called us like 2 years ago a cult brand. Because as I mentioned before, Mind the Gap, all Mind the Gap designs translates into a story, and they are connected somehow with a fairy tale, with a famous song, with a book, with with something that people would recognize. So that's why probably the cult brand, and I think I love this label for Mind the Gap. Yeah.
Why was London an important place to present this collection?
We always choose London, first of all, because it's our first and at the moment the only showroom we have for the public. And second, because England was the first market for Mind the Gap, and always the most important market in Europe. And also because England holds one of the most important markets in interior design. So no matter we present our collections in Paris, Milan, or or New York, or High Point, where we have important shows and trade fairs, London is always the place because it's in my heart also, and London and the showroom, and London is always the place where I like to show what's new.
But how did you choose London at the first place?
Again, because of the business in a way, but also because of the openness we received from the first year. So when we launched the collection 10 years ago, the first distributor was from England, who embraced Mind the Gap. And then
So you sent what you did to a lot of other countries, and
Yeah,
it
we
was England the
started to-
first one that
yeah,
responded.
yes, and the England was the first one, and in just 1 or 2 years we were in all the big stores like John Lewis and all the online stores. So they received it very well, and they were very open. In other countries, we needed more time to gain their trust, But England was always very open, and I am very thankful for that.
Before finishing this discussion, and before say a big thank you, because you took this piece of Romania and of Transylvania worldwide, I would like to talk a little bit with you in Romanian, because I'm sure that we have a lot of viewers that are from Romania or they are just speaking Romanian. Așa că o să vorbim puțin și în română. Aș vrea cumva să tragem câteva concluzii. În primul rând, hai să spunem și în română de ce ne aflăm noi astăzi aici în Londra, în acest loc minunat. Pentru că
Mind the Gap, un brand din micuțul oraș Târgu Mureș, aniversează 10 ani de existență într-o piață worldwide, și pentru că în Londra avem showroom-ul nostru permanent, de altfel singurul centru de design din Europa, care se numește Chelsea Design Center în Chelsea Harbour, da.
Hai să vorbim puțin și despre colecție. Ce înseamnă colecția Transylvanian Rhapsody? Ce cuprinde și cum arată?
Ok, am ales să facem o colecție inspirată din Transilvania pentru că e locul cu care ne mândrim și unde am crescut cu toții care facem parte din companie. Și pentru că și acum 5 ani am avut o colecție care se numea Transylvanian Roots, care e un pic mai folclorică și mai rustică. De data asta am decis cu echipa de design să recreăm o poveste din Transilvania, dar puțin mai boemă și mai florală și mai feminină, a spune, pentru că publicul nostru până la urmă sunt în mare majoritate femei.
Adevărat?
Da, deci peste, nu știu...
Femeile sunt cele care aleg produsele de design interior în case?
Și fashion e cam lucrează la fel. Dacă vorbim de profesioniști, probabil că mixul e mai apropiat de 50-50, de 50-50. Dar în cazul clienților finali care ne scriu și care cumpără mult Mind the Gap din întreaga lume, sunt femei, cu siguranță. Așa că Transylvanian Rhapsody înseamnă o rapsodie de culori. Pentru mine înseamnă o colecție diferită față de ce am făcut până acum, pentru că am încercat să facem ceva cu elemente din Transilvania, dar în același timp să fie ușor de tranzitat în oricare țară a lumii, pentru că chiar dacă sunt elemente specifice, dat fiind bogăția de culori și elementele de design florale și
toate sursele de inspirație.
Da, toate sunt ușor de consumat worldwide, adică în toată lumea.
Vindeți în toată lumea, pentru că tocmai am vorbit că aveți câte țări în care vindeți în momentul
80.
80 de țări,
da.
Cei mai mari consumatori fiind Statele Unite și Anglia.
Da.
Dar dacă cineva din România, nu știu, care se uită la noi acum și poate chiar acum vă descoperă, unde vă găsesc? Cum pot da de voi?
La Târgu Mureș.
Vă aștept la Târgu Mureș. Deci ne vedem la Târgu Mureș.
Vă așteptăm. Suntem la Târgu Mureș cu fabrica, avem birou la Târgu Mureș și sediu central, headquarter, cum spun englezii. Avem un birou și la Cluj, birou de design, dar în general suntem prezenți în marile orașe prin designerii care ne reprezintă sau prin showroom-uri care ne reprezintă în București, Constanța, Craiova, Cluj, adică suntem prezenți în piață și suntem foarte bine prezenți pe online, unde avem shop-ul nostru permanent de 10 ani și acel shop, și care duce greu și chiar ne bucurăm că foarte mulți clienți finali vin către noi, pentru că shop-ul nostru, de fapt, este singurul loc, shop-ul nostru virtual este singurul loc unde poți să vezi tot ce face Mind the Gap. Neavând un showroom permanent încă în București sau într-un alt oraș din țară, e mai greu să vezi cum se poate vedea la Londra ce înseamnă de fapt feeling-ul de Mind the Gap.
Te-am întrebat în engleză și o să te întreb și în română pentru că e important. Cum primesc oamenii în străinătate, cei care iau contact cu voi, cum privesc, cum descoperă sau cum redescoperă ce înseamnă România și Transilvania prin prisma produselor voastre?
Să știi că am omis să spun în engleză, dar o să o spun acum în română. Am fost impresionat încă de la prima colecție din Transilvania de faptul că foarte mulți străini sau foarte mulți americani, englezi sau francezi cu origini românești, de fapt, sau cu origini în Est Europei, au îmbrățișat MINDTHEGAP destul de repede și cu bucurie și mulți ne scriu în continuare. Sunt foarte mândră că bunica mea era din Bulgaria sau era din Moldova sau din Bucovina și regăsesc în modelele voastre elemente care le vedeam în casă sau în fotografiile vechi sau într-un covor vechi. Și cumva suntem mândri de asta. Cu siguranță casele din România nu arătau așa acum 100 de ani, dar cred că ăsta e unul dintre elementele principale, că lumea începe să ne recunoască, pentru că noi tot aducem din timp în timp sau în fiecare ocazie aducem elemente și designuri din Transilvania vechi, le redesenăm, le recolorăm și cumva oamenii deja încep să recunoască MINDTHEGAP și Transilvania prin ceea ce facem noi.
Eu cred că cel mai important lucru pe care îl faceți voi este că transmiteți o emoție.
Asta îmi place să o spui tu, nu pot să o spun eu neapărat. Eu cred asta, dar nu îmi place neapărat să o spun eu. Încercăm să transmitem o emoție, încercăm să transmitem povești prin designurile noastre, pentru că altfel nu le văd sensul, sincer. Deci la noi în casă, dacă nu avem o legătură cu tapetele sau cu designurile care mă inspiră, nu văd sensul să consume acel lucru doar pentru faptul că e floral. Și mai mult decât atât, încerc prin colecțiile prin care le avem, cam toate denumirile designurilor au o legătură. Adică și acum avem, nu știu, Nohric, avem Alma, avem numele bunicii mele din Secuime, adică tot timpul avem ceva, sau încerc să aduc o legătură în designurile pe care le creăm, pentru că până la urmă trebuie să inspire. Da?
Dar crezi că într-o zi MINDTHEGAP o să facă o colecție despre Oltenia? Nu știu, zic, sau despre Moldova, sau despre, nu știu.
Da, nu știu. Mă simt foarte țintuit așa de Transilvania, dar asta nu înseamnă că nu recunosc bogăția culturală a României și a celorlalte regiuni. Tocmai pentru care am făcut o colecție acum 2 ani de wetlands inspirată din Delta Dunării, unde am avut elemente din
Și aveți coloana lui Brâncuș?
Și avem coloana lui Brâncuș care uite, nu e care apare în colecție.
Nu e deloc din Transilvania.
Da, apare, da, și cu siguranță vom avea colecții pe viitor care o să fie inspirate și din alte regiuni, pentru că
și Delta, nu vorbeam despre Delta mai devreme.
Colecția din Delta, cu siguranță Moldova are un alt specific. Transilvania cred că are un specific mai aparte din cauza mixului de culturi. Foarte interesant. Probabil că în celelalte regiuni nu se găsesc atâtea etnii câte s-au găsit în Transilvania, pentru că știți și voi, sași, armeni, secui, țigani, români, ucrainieni.
Și fiecare a îmbogățit.
Tătari urcați în zona aia și fiecare și-a adus un aport care în celelalte regiuni poate nu au fost atât de puternic. Chiar dacă vorbim și de Bucovina cu influențele austro-ungare adică sunt zone pe care le-aș explora cu siguranță, dar pentru că nouă ne place să spunem și deja am folosit, pentru că a fost un element ușor recognoscibil, trebuie să admit, faptul că am folosit totdeauna Proudly Made in Transylvania. Transilvania este pe buzele tuturor în lume.
Vezi că este mai cunoscută zona aceasta în străinătate, adică cumva măcar au o idee despre...
Cu siguranță. Chiar dacă nu aș vrea să o spun, dar așa este. Adică Transilvania e pentru oricine un nume care în momentul în care aude își ridică ochii și zâmbește. Și datorită lui Dracula, care nu neapărat sunt mândru de povestea asta. Dar...
Până la urmă este important cumva, într-un fel sau în altul, să-i aducem pe oameni către România, ca să descopere toată bogăția pe care o avem culturală în orice zonă din țară.
Da, și sunt convins că noi prin Transilvania facem
calea putem să facem asta.
România, bineînțeles, cu siguranță o facem asta.
Îți mulțumesc foarte mult.
Și eu
îți mulțumesc pentru MINDTHEGAP, îți mulțumesc pentru că ai pus România pe harta lumii prin ceea ce faceți și pentru că prin intermediul vostru, exact cum spuneam mai devreme, foarte mulți oameni vor descoperi România, ceea ce cred că ne dorim cu toți.
Da, cu siguranță. Mulțumesc și eu tare mult că ai acceptat.
Mulțumesc frumos, vă mulțumim și să aveți o după-amiază plăcută.